All right, what's up everybody? So in this video, I want to tell a story from when I was back in college. So in my physics class, we had a computer lab that all the physics students would go to, and there was this one graduate student who was also there. Me and him had our conflicts, but yeah. So the first time I met him, I was probably a sophomore in college, and I tried to be friends with him. Ask if he wanted to play, if I could play video games at his house. Just really forward questions. But I guess we grew to dislike each other. Like we weren't, you know how you just don't vibe with people. But yeah, we grew to dislike each other, and things just got worse and worse. But I mean, he disliked me, but I really didn't care if he hated me. Because there's, I mean, some people hate you, some people like you. But yeah, so I also I go down there to go to do my physics homework. Go on Facebook, go on YouTube, just doing stuff on the computers. But I would leave my Facebook open on the internet on the computers downstairs. And I did this all the time. And one time he posted pictures of old naked men on my Facebook making out and doing sexual things. And I was like, oh I was kind of angry, because uh, social what is it called? Social networking on the internet is a reflection of your personality. Social media is a reflection of your personality. So I was like, oh, people are gonna think you're crazy, and weird. But yeah, he did this a few times. I was an idiot, and I just kept leaving my Facebook open. And one time I left my email open, and he sent like links to Pornhub to people on my email. Luckily, it was just people I didn't care, like people who I didn't care got the email, um, got that email, and they just played it off as a joke. But I would have been really pissed if it was sent to like a professor or an employer or someone who was important to me. So I was pretty pissed at this. So I was like, this this requires some payback, and I wasn't gonna pay this dude back. He was gonna be hurt. So I hatched a plan, and the next day, I, um, I saw him in the computer lab, and I was like, dude, um, I know you sent those emails out, and you sent it to my little cousin, and the mom wants to press charges against me for child molestation. And you should have seen the look on his face. He was shaking. He's like, oh shit, it's over. His life was over. But I should have let him like feel that feel that sense of fear a little longer. But I was feeling guilty. Um, I was feeling guilty that he was feeling this way. So I just, after like two or 3 minutes, I was like, all right, dude, I'm just joking. But he was trying to play it off, like how you gonna prove it? But he was scared. Like you could see the look in his eyes that he was really scared. Because you know what they do to people like that in prison. But yeah, it was what he was doing on my Facebook account, like posting all those weird things and sexual things, was probably a blessing in disguise for me because it allowed me to um, do whatever I wanted on social media, like post things that I wanted to post things that were funny, even though they were like pretty stupid, and other people thought they were stupid, and yeah, I just didn't care anymore, and it even went into real life where I didn't care what people thought of me and what I did. So it was a blessing in disguise of what he did. It allowed me to not really care what others think of what I do. Um, but yeah, I like to also update you guys on something I'm doing. I'm going to Sao Paulo, Brazil, which is the biggest city in the Americas. It's got about 23 million people, and I booked a flight for July 8th, just a one-way ticket. So I'm not planning to return. I'm just planning to I'm trying to get into international real estate just as a stepping stone to where I want to go. So I think that's a good place to start out because um, maybe they want some uh, buyers from international buyers, and the lingua franca of the world is English. So they're gonna want a native speaker to try to sell real estate in Sao Paulo. But if you guys don't know what Sao Paulo it looks like, I'm gonna show you a picture of it. So yeah, it's one of the biggest cities in the world, and it has um, one of the most high, it has like the most high rises in the world. It has about almost 6,000 high rises, but it's an absolutely massive city. Um, but I think it would be good for me. I think it has a lot of chaos, and I think chaos is good for my mind because chaos allows me to chill, relax, because there's nothing that I can do about it because there's so much things moving um, that you can't even comprehend it. So you might as well just let your brain relax. And I also want a different culture to be around. I don't. The one thing I don't like about living in America is because I already know all the stereotypes. I don't like judging people all the time and being accustomed to the stereotypes. I'm just tired of judging people walking down the street. It's just a natural thing that occurs in everybody, I think. But in Brazil, I don't know any of the stereotypes. I can't judge anybody. It's just a wasted emotion. So that's another factor I'm going down there for. Um, it's a different climate, a different geography. It's in the jungle, and it's next to the ocean, and it's also a very diverse city. It has many immigrants from Italy, Spain. It has a lot of blacks there that were previous slaves for the sugar plantations. Um, it's got natives, Indians, and it has the largest Japanese population outside of Japan. So it's a pretty diverse city. Um, they have no Irish people there, so I guess I'll stand out. I guess I look European, so I guess all white people look the same to them. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Go to Brazil, see how things work out. Once I get there, I'm thinking about just teaching English just to get my feet on the ground, learn some Portuguese. I also have no money right now. I spent all my money on the last trip I took. Um, So I'm basically financing this trip on credit. Um, so I booked it, the flight was $688 from Chicago to Sao Paulo. But yeah, I think it's where I need to go. The economy there is it's one of Brazil is one of the BRIC countries. Brazil, Russia, India, and China. That's what BRIC stands for. They're one of the developing world countries, and I think that's where the future of the world is, in the developing countries. I think U.S. had its prime time in the 20th century. England had its prime time in the 19th century. So now it's time for these developing countries to have their prime time in the 21st century, I believe is where it's at. So yeah, that's what is happening now. Peace out.